It's gonna be recorded. There've been some problems with recording before, but hopefully everything will be fine. Yeah, for now, what we mentioned so far is, yeah, let's fight for the space where most of our team is. We need to place clones accordingly to the space relative to the space where we're fighting, and also just try to anticipate. Yeah, anticipate where the fight is gonna be. Okay, let's just watch at least one more fight. Yeah, so see this clone in here. I think you just need to think about the long-range sidelines a little bit more too. Yeah, you can maybe sometimes even just try to reposition yourself. If you have troubles breaking through the choke, why do I have to keep the fighting here if I can just transition from here to here, go on the high ground, and this way it'll be easier for you guys to take space, but do that once most of your team is ready. And once they're ready to transition to the choke, so you will not take all the attention. You need your Groot to tank, you need your Emma to tank, all of that stuff, and should be okay. Okay, starting with ultimate, it can be fine, honestly. I think this is decent. Initiating with Lunar Snow, especially, not too bad. Of course, we can maybe talk about something else what they could be doing here, but I don't think it's too bad at all, honestly, to just initiate the push to start with one of those ultimates here, especially now when you forced out some of the ultimates too. Why not? Why not? It's usually that when you lose a couple of fights, the enemy will have better ult economy too, so we need to try to force out some ultimates so you get bigger advantage later, maybe in the third fight or the fight after that. Okay, so right away, so start with, what is our thought process with the clones? Yeah, think about what space we're fighting for. I probably suggest maybe one clone can be here, maybe another clone can be already over there. With more offensive positioning, like placing the clone here, I think can also work, but you have to also look at how your team is posturing. If your team is posturing more aggressively, your tank is pushing more forward, then this kind of clones, more aggressive clones, might make more sense, but at the start of the fight, usually at least setting up some of the clones is important. Yeah, you kind of will have a triangle of the clones. That's what I usually tell players. Whenever you're controlling the space, you don't want to stack your clones at one space, just at one location, but it kind of create a triangle. So for example, I'm here, and then the clone is to the right, and then there's another clone in the middle, and this way you can divert a lot of the enemy attention. This works quite nice. All right, Flaming Thunder, do you have any questions? I know it's been pretty brief, but yeah, I talked a lot about the clones, all the space. Yeah, anything you wanna ask me? Not so far, no questions. Okay, if there are no questions, I think we will be moving towards out of replay because I want to cover as many as possible, if you don't mind. But yeah, if there will be any questions later, let me know. So far, to summarize, think about the space you're fighting for, place the clones accordingly, pressure first, pressure damage first, and then after that you can heal the most active member on your team. We didn't talk a lot about the lamp, but the lamp is really important at enabling the aggression of your teammates, so watch out for that. But first off, always think about the proactivity, what you can do with the pressure accordingly to the space you're fighting for. Okay, let's maybe look at any other VOD. We also got, yeah, we got 2 more people. Okay, also guys, if I cannot find your name, if there's no name on the wheel, let me know. But yeah, I think I already placed the Cocoa Bar. Let's see, is there's also, I believe there was one more by somebody, maybe. Okay, this, okay. Oh yeah, here we go. I forgot this. Yeah, maybe this here. Yeah, I don't. Not sure what happened because I was pretty sure I placed your name Limos or Limos. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name correctly. Okay, and who else? Yeah, there's one more. J Fly. Yeah, your name is black. It's kind of. I cannot see the chat properly. Okay, I think we got everyone now. Sorry, I was editing the message early, lol. Oh, okay, no problem. Oh, let's spin. Maybe we get to see Okay, Decaflock, you're really unlucky today.
Dude, I'm getting rage baited. What is this?
It's really close, though. It's really close.
Yo, please skip over Cocoa Pebbles. He doesn't deserve it. He's a Psylocke one trick.
Okay, Coco Bar, if you want, if you let the Decaflock, then sure. If not, I guess.
No. I'm joking. He could go. He could go. No what? No. Now that you said, now suddenly I do.
Okay.
Nah,
It's all good, it's all
I
good.
invited me.
All right.
Derek, you got the unlucky wheel, okay?
Yeah, it's really interesting. We kind of have close. It's been close 2 times. Okay, what are we playing? Oh, Angela. Perfect. I think 2 reviews ago, it's just, well, maybe months ago, we reviewed Fumiata, one of the best Angelas before. Honestly, even there, we still found small things they could be improving on, but honestly that was a really good example of what you gotta be doing as Angela. So maybe we can use that as a sort of example, maybe see what you can do exactly as Angela, kind of similar. Okay, so we're starting out on this map here. Well, you have a lot of space to work with. I think there are tons of options what it can do regarding the flanking, so I think because this is Celestial, we should be pretty okay at the fundamentals. Let me see if there are any notes. House Heaven was a bit tilted this match, so probably showed most of the things I need to work on. Okay, well, honestly, if you're tilted, I think sometimes it might be not the best game because your mentality affects your performance. I rather want you to prepare the games where it's your performance is not as affected by your mentality, basically. Let's put it this way. If you have any close game, that's better, but sure, we can also go over this one. It's just always the game where you try to bust. Okay, I see you're already looking for the flank options, looking to just usually, if there is any low stationary, kind of more stationary, it's either their backline or their tank, we can try to isolate them, drag them in towards our team. That's what we're aiming for anyone, maybe especially the newer players in the Gosu Academy. That's what you're usually trying to do in the Angela, and after that, there are times when we can look to either brawl or try to set up one more opportunity for us to do the same play. So this is what we're looking for here. It seems that the Mac here has been sort of ready for our play. I think what we're doing so far, it seems okay-ish, to be honest, because there's opportunity for you guys to just, for your team, especially to help out with all this aggression. My main concern is what our Venom is also doing while we're doing so. Because the thing is, when you have, it doesn't matter, honestly, even though you play 1 tank or 2 tanks, ideally, I want you guys to try to sync your pressure, and maybe if you're looking for this kind of higher reward play, in your case, wait for your Venom's aggression first, so after that you can follow up on that, and there's a high chance that maybe we can isolate something, and at the same time, maybe if you're not isolating, let's say they still react with something like bubble, maybe there's also something else the enemy will prepare for you. It doesn't matter. Still, there's a high chance we might be forcing out more resources. So if you see the space we're prepared to fight for, I always want you to actively look and see what is that exactly. Because most of the time this is okay. This is okay to just try to maybe do this as soon as possible once they cross the choke here. They kind of go from this corner 1 to corner 2, so you can already start the pressure because mostly you expect the fight to be around the point. But honestly, with the way your team is set up, so you see this here, this Iron Fist, and there's also, I think, the Venom's been sitting on this, on this high gun here. So you have kind of angle, let's call it angle A, there's angle B, and your angle C at the backline. So in theory, what you want to do is try to trap the enemy between 3 angles, kind of create, trap them in triangle. It's just any space, any, maybe let's put it this way, you're trying to anticipate first where the fight is, like similar, like we talked about the Loki before in our previous replay, and then exactly see for yourself how your team is set up and try to trap the enemy this way. So I would maybe prefer you to wait a little bit. So this here is okay, just more patience, let them walk in a little bit more. So there's a high chance to trap the enemy in the space, and then you can force out more cooldowns, or at least, yeah, I think it's rather cooldowns, or maybe you get in a kill. So now this works out better, actually, and you see why. Because these guys are walked in a little bit more, and your team also have angles, kind of more aggressive angle setup, right? So this here, there's a higher probability of this play to work. My Venom's here, this is here. Maybe you can try to communicate with your second tank too, to grab some initial attention, but it's not the most necessary step. The most necessary is watch out for the space, in my opinion. And yeah. I was looking for environmental kill. Well, was not able to make it though. I'm not sure. Well, it's just more learning the spots. Yeah, but I think it's possible.
He would have died if I did get the boop off, but he shielded himself. I was
Yeah,
looking for
yeah. Okay. That's what I was. Yeah, I was thinking too. Yeah, you would probably get him, but oh well, that's okay. They also will answer with cooldowns, like we said, so that's something to be expecting. Okay. So our second engagement been alright. The first one little bit impatient, and with this I'm not sure what happened. Is there anything what you're looking for? You looking to touch the point, or what was the purpose? What are we trying to do here?
I think I just got a bit greedy there. I was seeing if we could possibly held on the point for longer, but I should have probably just left as soon as 2 people died or 1 person died.
Yeah, I would say so. Your Venom is also, they've been low and then they died. Yeah, so just right at this time here, I think as soon as you see most of your teammates are low on resources and there are 2 people that probably it's not worth it to touch the point. Rather prepare for the next fight in here. Because now this guy slowed down you immensely and now they're able to push in. But what if would be given up space, pull back a little bit, and then we can punish the aggression here afterwards. Yeah, you can do similar kind of play, go from the back, yeah, try to maybe grab somebody like Mag or maybe anyone else. Yeah, you can also actually fight with other guys, especially if they're more isolated, but I think more stationary people is the preference. Okay, fighting angle here a little bit. Mag is really, out of position, so this is good. Okay, it looks good. Brawl after, sure. Just a little bit extra damage, extra sustain. I think that's okay. Now looking for the next threat in here. Actually, not entirely sure. So with this one, would you... yeah, let's just start with this. What are the times when you actually brawl, and what are the times when you actually look to drag in somebody, kind of just push them in towards your team, or like this way you do with a shift, I guess. What's your thought process, generally speaking?
When I'm looking for people to push into my team, it's usually like during poke phase, right, where I can get a pick if they're like overextended. If I'm looking to brawl, it's usually like if one of my teammates would have gotten pick, I could probably brawl it out.
Okay. I think that's pretty good, and you see why we mentioned it's good that to brawl here, right? When you dragged in the mag, because you set up an extra advantage for yourself, so you're more likely to. Well, it's even regardless of the pick, even though I'm not getting a pick, I did set up a big advantage for me and my team, so now I can actually brawl. And maybe that is something what you can continuously think about. So for example here, it's good to brawl, but what about later? Because you have the pick on the mag already, and your Luna is also using an ultimate. I don't think we have to look for this play anymore where we're trying to drag in somebody, or maybe look for an environmental kill, doesn't matter. You still can look to probably brawl later. Oh well, actually, yeah, it's on the cooldown there, right? So let me see. So it's yeah, I think honestly, so it's probably not looking for the any flight here. Yeah, just as soon as you brawl right now, I think probably trying to continue to brawl would be okayish. Yeah, it's a little bit harder to decide right now though, yeah, because at this time, yeah, there's no clear advantage yet. Not sure actually. To be honest with you, I think with the way we pushed in the mag, probably just finding ways to continue to brawl can be okay. But yeah,
The
well,
problem with
it's just a little
if
bit
you
complicated.
continue to brawl with Angela, why she's like that, she has a she's easier to hit, she's very slow, and she doesn't get any overshield if she's not in her area, right? So
Yeah,
usually I
yeah,
kind of
that's
want
tough.
to try and get that cooldown, right? So I do more damage when I press the E again, and I have overshield.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think that's fine. It's just a little bit unfortunate that right at this time we're not able to actively brawl anymore. That would be a really good timing if we would just look for the any sort of shift. Well, I guess it's fine then. Well, like you can ignore the previous comments, but yeah, ideally, if we set up the a big advantage, if we can continue to brawl, that's usually okay-ish. Even though it's easy to hit, regardless, I would say. It's just with all together, the ultimates, all the picks, yeah, it's usually the most ideal. So, for example, right after, I don't know, for example, even here, if there's opportunity for us to brawl, we can take it. Obviously, if there are more targets which are kind of isolated, really far away, I think, go for the flight, try to use the shift. Yeah, that's what you usually see. But yeah, that's alright, that's alright. Okay, let's keep watching what's gonna happen here. More likely to look to isolate somebody first. Okay, starting with this, sure. Maybe looking for a bad angle somewhere. I'm not sure if you have to be here anymore. Yeah, if you're looking for the same play. What's your thoughts
Right
actually?
here, right here, I'm trying to get my charge up, my charge, right? My left click to
Mm-hmm.
100%, and I'm looking for them to push in a bit so I can actually, if I wanted to drag someone, they wouldn't be all the way back where
Mm-hmm.
they would all see me. I think I do wait for them to push in and
Mm-hmm.
take a different angle, I think. But I don't really think that we should be like in that room, especially when they have like a Phoenix. They have a very broad comp compared to us.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
true.
think we win those engagements in those enclosed spaces, so I was playing it very carefully.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. But at the same time, because your team is committed to this space, right?
Mm.
We have to still do something. What if, just as a theory, what if we would try to set up somehow pressure from here? What are your thoughts? Maybe try to do something if somebody
Yeah.
walks like this, Mag. Yeah, this is my main concern. I think the way the generally speaking on the macro level, what you're saying is right, but the thing is, the problem with the competitive a lot of the times is that you have to play around where most of your team is active regardless. So first start with that. Keep in mind that you're playing slow, so once they get out, then you're not fully committed to this angle anymore. So maybe starting here, and then after that you can decide, well, if my team is out, which is more ideal, kind of playing for this open space more, this area maybe, I think honestly you can prolong the fight more, and once you do that, yep, you set up the pressure later, I think this can work quite nice. Yeah, but so far, it's just really gonna be complicated if we just wait, if our team is fighting. You know, another thing you can do, that's what came to mind right away. If I'm waiting for my team to set up and there's no opportunity for me to look for just drag in somebody towards my team, I can also fight in angles. I can try to just push them out a little bit, kind of keep them busy. For example, if I expect somebody to take an off angle like Phoenix, maybe even Star-Lord, to be honest. I think it's a little bit tough to fight the Star-Lord, but anyway, it still can be okay direction to start with, because usually aiming for the map control first, so I get rid of important angles, so they're not able to do much, and then after that, they can set up your own plays after. Maybe drag in the mag or anybody else, because this guy here... Mhm.
Yeah, with Angela, I do tend to do that a lot, which is contesting off angles.
Yeah,
Um, Problem with like Star-Lord, he was just I didn't see him till like the last spec, and then he ulted. I think he went on a different way. Yeah,
yeah,
the
it's here.
the spec you could see me turn. Yeah, you could see me turn to look at like the one pixel that he turns it
Yeah,
into, and then it was like he ulted, so I couldn't
yeah.
really do much. But usually I would be contesting a lot of high ground. So say if a Phoenix was here, I'll probably be there and trying to push her out, push it into our team and get a
Yep,
pick.
yep, yeah. That's about it. I think it's just mainly what I wanna also say that is that space, if you know what you're fighting, what space you're fighting for, then there's a high chance, high probability that you will be contesting right angle. Yeah, we kind of been saying, well, what if I'm here because my team is here, and because I'm here, there's high probability I can contest important angles like this one too. Who knows? Yeah. So this is the only one main thing I wanted to add. But other than that, I think it's pretty decent, really consistent. Just the setup, yeah, the way you set up, the way you fight. Maybe try to specify the space you're fighting for. Yeah, that's been the pattern. So, am I fighting for this space here, like in the first fight, because my team set up to fight it? Am I fighting this space because they set up in here? Yeah, still, regardless, even though the angles are not the best, you have to be there. You have to provide the pressure and tank, or just generally speaking, do something in the space where most of your team is active. So set up accordingly and fight accordingly. Use your teammates as a bait too sometimes. Yeah, maybe you have a second tank like Venom. Maybe you can let them go in and then go in as well. But honestly, as soon as you see some sort of triangle where you can trap the enemy in, that's really good, I would say. But yeah, just watch for that. Watch how the space is being played. But other than that, I think it's looking nice. Yeah. Do you have any questions?
Nope.
Okay. Hope it's helpful. I know it's just a little bit of us watching this replay, but yeah. So far, this is what I think. Okay, we can watch anyone else who there's as well. G Sleepy Deco Flag. Okay, let's spin. There's no one else, I assume. Okay, it's adds a little Moz in here. Alright, for anyone who is new, but guys, who just joined, you can also put in your name in the chat, just in case you want to get your replay reviewed. So far, yeah, let's start with a little Moz. I want to find your name. Okay, I got it. Okay, it's Mag, Groot, Thor, and awesome map is Kunlun. Rank Platinum. Felt like I played well, but I think my positioning in target priority wasn't the best. Okay, is there a specific tank you want me to focus on? Back in the day, well, I do remember we already done the Mag and Groot review, so maybe if you want to do Thor, we could do Thor, or do you still want to do Mag or Groot? What do you prefer?
I played Mag the entire first half of it when we were on attack, and when I started playing, I was playing Mag at the beginning of defense. It wasn't working, so then I tried going over to Groot and Thor to try to swap it up a little bit to work with the team comp a little bit better. And we just fell apart in the second half. So I guess the second half of the game when we were on defense.
Yeah, second half when you run defense, okay. And so wait, is it okay? This is the replay. Here we go. Right. Okay, and if there are any questions, also let me know. But so far, yeah, let's just start with this. Your notes you mentioned. You felt like you played well, but your position in target priority wasn't the best. Okay, we can take a look. So we start with the mag, right? To clarify. Oh, okay, perfect. So let's just go back a little bit. Okay, we are... So the first thing, which is really important, and I know that, especially before, I talked how we need to contribute to the right space, to the space which most of your team is able to control. But whenever you play a poke character, you still need to look for options to do the damage before the fight. It's just, I am not fully committing. I'm not fully committing my cooldowns whatsoever. Maybe you still have time to use your stacks, the right click, in a way. So for the console, it's gonna be what, this button... I'm not as familiar with the console, but yeah, you get what I mean. The stacks before the fight is gonna be okay, and after, when the fight happens, which is gonna be really once they cross the choke, you can prepare your bubbles, you can prepare another set of stacks, and do the pressure for that space. but damage before the fight can be quite good. Yeah, so just moving up a little bit is okay. Honestly, don't hesitate to do so. Maybe shooting in general direction even. For example, there's a smoke, there's a general route, most of the people take, they kind of drop, go here. So maybe you can just shoot in there, or also shoot in here. By the way, if I'm not mistaken, you can remove the smoke by shooting. Right, so yeah, I think that's how it goes. So this is also okay to do before the match starts. Yeah, you can already tell your teammates where the enemies are this way. And it's just I can, yeah, you see this exactly. Yeah, this is how it's being removed. Yeah, this enemy's woman shooting it, and it's already can be done before the fight starts. So consistent damage before the fight. Don't just stand still. Yeah. Because these guys now have full opportunity to easily engage with full cooldowns. But what if I damage before the fight a little bit more? Let's see how we use the stacks. Is it gonna be... Oh, I think we missed it, but yeah, the intention is okay-ish though, to be honest. What you can try to do is try to anticipate what is the play they're aiming for, and then make sure that you're not necessarily using the stacks once they started to do something. Yeah, let's say this guy is trying to do a play, kind of maybe jump from this corner to this corner. You not necessarily have to stop them right away. What you can do sometimes is to wait for them to do the play. For example, they're looking for the jump on your backline. Sure, let them do so. And after that, disrupt it. It's kind of more consistent. When you try to just use your stacks in between the move, it becomes really complicated. You see here, you're kind of trying to use the stacks as soon as possible. I understand that's also console. Yeah, it's a little bit hard to exactly turn fast in here. But anyway, using the stacks right now is not the best action, because this guy initially, let's look at the abilities. I think they use the slam in here. So wait for them to use the slam first and disrupt them after. You don't have to use the stacks before they slam. Yeah, it's just to keep it simple, let the enemy do the action. Usually, or use your stacks even before the action sometimes can be okay, but yeah. Anyway, see, we are putting the pressure. Also, really important that the stacks are not only adding damage, but they also displace people a little bit, right? You kind of stun them for some period of time. Okay, I think that's fine. The team up there, just trying to do the damage there. My main concern is probably fighting for the space on the point would be better, but honestly, as soon as if you recognize the kill opportunity like this is okay enough reason to stay here. Just once you get a kill, try to think about what's more dangerous towards your team, because you need to be tanking and you need to be there. So you need to find the most active angle in a way, and exactly your displacement, your bubbles all should be there. So in this case, it can be Emma Frost, it can be this Gambit in here, which is a little bit too much forward, and those guys are not killable. The Rocket Raccoon can easily escape. The captain also pretty tanky, so just go for anybody who your team is busy with. Who's more dangerous, let's put it this way. Just more active on the field, but you have to actively scout for that. Okay, bubbles, yeah, honestly, all your abilities, whatever you are doing, as long as you contribute to the right space, it's gonna be alright. And it's also just a matter of timing. If the enemy is actively committing, once they committed, you are using your resources. You can be defensive, like your bubbles, or it can be offensive, like your stacks. Okay, maybe let's see the next fight. I assume we kind of, we talked a lot about this first point. Let's see maybe anything we could spot on the next. Oh, that's when we swap the group. Do you want to watch the group here too, or do you prefer?
Yeah, we can watch the group here too.
Oh, okay, that's all right. Do you have any questions for the mag though?
No, it all made sense. Especially like as soon as I got that Moon Knight kill, I should have just started moving back. Probably could have at least saved the Gambit, because right as I turned around and tried to protect him, he was dead, and second sooner could have been game change.
Yeah. You know, it's not even that, like a lot of people say, peel for your support, generally speaking. It's rather you need to find the more dangerous angle. And sometimes the general dangerous angles, it can be the follow-up itself. Yeah, let's say enemy tank dives in, enemy tank walks in. It's okay for you to just focus the follow-up, but focus follow-up accordingly to who is the most dangerous right now. So that gambit, like you said, exactly, could be better target compared to just shooting the rocket, shooting the cap, who's in front. Yeah, they're not doing a whole lot. So yeah, just watch for who's the most active right now. Okay, with the Groot, if we keep the same idea going, you need your resources for the right space, for the right time. So in this case, with the Groot, it's really good if you're able to fight for more enclosed spaces and try to trap the enemy in. Once they commit it, we can try to place the walls and try to separate them. I think those kind of walls is a little bit more concerning, though. Yeah, make sure the enemy makes a commitment towards your space and try to trap them in a little bit more. This wall here is kind of more kiteable, in my opinion. This still can be okay-ish sometimes, but honestly, with the space your team is fighting for, it seems that we're more suitable to fight in this red space. So let the enemy in, place the walls maybe like this as an example, one wall to the left, another wall to the right, and just trying to displace them. Honestly, it's not even, you not necessarily will trap them here forever, but you will get better cooldown trade this way. So there's a higher probability, right? If I have the walls like this here, then it's a big help. And the small walls like those, it's a bit more pressure walls, let's call those this way, yeah. You can use it to separate the enemy. And this big wall, sometimes it can be used to isolate, but most of the time it's sort of for the sustain. And a really important thing about this wall here, I'm not sure if you're able to see, but with the high sustain walls like this, yeah, I guess we can see it here. This is the outline. This is the outline how far the sustain goes. So if you can place it around anywhere, just behind some sort of wall where it's hidden, it's gonna be better. Typically, it's okay to maybe try to separate somebody as well. Oh yeah. Oh, sorry, what was that? Oh, okay, there was noise in the background. It's all good. Yeah, so trying to place it behind the wall is okay-ish because you get the support from the wall even through the buildings. Yeah, so let's say if the wall is here and I'm fighting here, you still get this this area effect, right? For the extra sustain. Just something to keep in mind. So first, thinking about where we're fighting. Second, place a defensive wall for sustain and your
small walls
rather for the pressure. Yeah, just once the enemy committed. Also sleepy.
Farewell.
I think there's there's a background noise, Sleepy, if you can hear us. Oh, I can. Okay, perfect. Let's watch one more fight. What do we got?
Yeah, on that, when you were talking about the walls right there, that was just bad aim on my part. Because that's what I was trying to do, was use the small walls to cut them off. And then I just aimed, like, it was just a little too far with it, and I didn't aim properly with it.
Oh yeah, no, I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. It can be both, right? It can be, well, but like I said, yeah, if it's the mechanics problem, if the intention is good, yeah, once they commit it, just place it in the choke, it's okay. Yeah, it's good enough. Honestly, with all the aim mechanics, it will come with time. Yeah, just keep practicing, should be alright. Just keep my VOD? As you wish. Yeah, G-Sleep, yeah, sure. If you're not able to stay, sure. Okay, we are fighting for this here. There's a pretty okay intention, but see, you need to be more accurate, right? It's just be careful. You need exact commitment. It's either this or the kill opportunity. Yeah, well, I guess it's sort of more forgiving because they have an advantage, but still, be careful. See if they're committing enough, and then try to cut them off, try to keep them stuck. So the wall is not right in their face. Yeah, it's rather they commit and you place it behind them. Complicated. They actively commit. I think we have to kite at this point. And also see our big wall. Yeah, so we wait, let's see the area actually. Okay, so we have the big wall here, yeah, and see the space you're fighting for, right? It needs to be accordingly to where you place this. It's really important, right? We cannot overcommit. It's sometimes it can be okay though to just try to replace it, but be again careful. We exactly need all the resources in the right space. Okay, I think I would just summarize this really simply on any tank. Think about the space you're fighting for, the cooldowns, preparing. It doesn't matter what kind of cooldowns you have, defensive, offensive, but once the enemy makes a commitment, you decide what to do. Yeah, defensive cooldowns for stabilization, offensive cooldowns to just put the pressure on the enemy, but wait for them to do the full action. Don't try to kind of do something in between. Yeah, in between this, when they do go from A to B, for example, captain uses the slam and you try to exactly disrupt him here. It's not the most consistent play. It's gonna be really hard. So you rather try to pressure them before they do the action, yeah, once they start the animation, or maybe once they finish the animation. Yeah, I mean, it's not only about the captain, it's rather just about any character. That's the generality. Well, in case of the captain, to be honest, I would mostly wait for them to do the action, and then after that you start displacing them, and also slight more damage and pressure before the fight. Just try to do that as a mag as well. Try to maybe destroy the smoke too, that's okay, and just get more vision going and fight for the right space with the Groot and all of that.
All right.
Yeah, do you have any questions?
No, I don't.
Okay, perfect. All right, we have 2 more VODs, but only one gets... Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, only 2, because we removed G Sleepy. Okay, yeah, let's see. Deco Flag. It's your time. Maybe. Oh, let's see. Maybe we get the J Flag.
What the flip?
All right. It's not... I promise it's not rigged. It should be...
It is.
It seems
This has to be racist towards us Guardians.
Okay, J-Fly, do we review your VOD? Do we let the Deco Flag to review your what do you...
No, let him go. Let J5 go. Let J5 go.
Alright, it's just been unlucky 3 times in a row. Okay, anyway, maybe...
No, it happens. It's all good.
Okay, maybe we can... Actually, we might have time to sneak in yours. I will try to do it as fast as possible.
My game was quick, I'll be honest. I think
your game was quick.
Well, it was convoy. It only got to 0.2, so I don't around the...
Yeah. Okay, that's all right. For the notes, let's see what you mentioned. Was trying to work on taking cover while being effective on tank and micro stuff as to why we lost. Okay. Do we want to focus on your Emma, I guess, or...
Yeah, it was mostly Emma during the game.
Okay. Let's take a look. Okay, what do we got? This here is... Yeah, it's a GM 3 Diamond lobby, and our rank is GM currently. Okay, we already watched this map, but yeah, let's see. What are we exactly doing here? So, Emma Frost, you pretty brawl tank, so really important with how you get from point A to point B without getting poked out. So, it's first, and then after that, just keep fighting for the same space where your team is. But anyway, let's see how we do so. I like that we're being patient with the cooldowns. However, watch out for the commitment. It seems that we kind of skipped this. Oh, there's a blind. That's why it happened. Yeah, this guy goes in, then we notice them later. Well, that's all right. Anyway, keep fighting them after. Your teammate gets picked, so you have to be careful. The enemy will try to push you up. I like this shield here. Yeah, not too early like a lot of the players would do on Emma. Sometimes they just place the shield a little bit too aggressively, right? And here I think exactly wait for the commitment, place the shield, it looks good. Playing the right corner is okay. You have an overall advantage here, so you can push up, take space. Okay. We just push through. You can do it faster. Honestly, this shield can be moved a little bit more further, just considering to where you're taking a fight. We're not taking the fight for this space anymore. We're taking the fight here. How you can read that? Well, honestly, I just always say try to read the overall tempo of the fight. If you have a big enough advantage already, think about it as not to yeah, let's put it this way. Generally speaking, when we try to take space, you do it corner by corner. So generally speaking, if I push from corner 1 to corner 2, this shield is okay. If we have even situation, if they're even numbers, but if you already have a big advantage, then placing your shield one more corner forward can be okay-ish, because we generally speaking the enemy will try to fight around the corner 3 later. They will try to kite towards it. Corner 3, corner 2 here, so you don't have to even worry about placing the shield this way, because, well, the enemy will not fight you anyway. If they will probably lose this fight, so because they have to kite. Hope that makes sense. Just try to look at the tempo accordingly and place the shield. Well, anyway, let's keep watching. Yeah, let's go back to your POV. Also have the Thor here. That's right. And yeah, the shield is kind of sitting there. We kind of even forgot about it, right? So it's I think honestly just wait for it and then place it right there for the space later once the commitment happens. Yeah. And just see it kind of got damaged before because of our initial placement in the back there. Okay. That's fine. Taking space, sure. Let's see how we're playing later. There's an ultimate of Invis. Have to be careful, but overall it should be okay. Right, a lot of the stuff happening with our back line with both Blade and the thing engaging there. That you guys able to stabilize. That's fine. Have the point control. Likely should be able to get a tick there. Yeah, I think it should be okay. Pushing up, taking space is fine. Just don't overdo it. Sure. And at this time, we pushing back now. Okay. Yeah, looks decent. Looks decent. Just a little bit of this here. Don't forget about the shield. Don't forget about it. Just during the fight, I know there might be times where you can think about your teammates, enabling them to. But if you expect the fight to be somewhere where you will need it, then just make sure you have that. You have that full already. Stuff like that. Yeah. Do you have any questions or?
Yeah, it felt like it's more to the end of the second point, or mostly because we was going with momentum. But there was a play I think at the end where I had my ult and I was going for the healers, and I think that's what turned the tide because it came down to like last minute plays, most likely like on both sides to me. So that's why I was just looking for like insight on.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Yeah. Do you want to? Yeah. Do you? So you mentioned second point. Do you want to watch that a little bit more?
Yeah, like on offense and defense at the end is like mostly where I was like, oh, or even the first point on defense too. Like little stuff that could have been done better because I felt like in the moment, like I was, let's say for the most part, I was probably thinking and like in the last moments, it was just like a panicking or quick thinking or something, like small plays, I guess.
Yeah. So we start. Do you want to start with here, pretty much?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think let's take a look. So generally speaking, fighting for this space is okay. However, I'm not sure if he should be fighting in this corner now. You know why? Because most of your team is not set up and ready for this corner. You see what kind of team we have as well. Maybe if your Bucky is they really want to look for initial hook, you maybe can stay here at the start. But I think with most of your commitment, it's rather gonna be for this open area. So rather maybe try to set up slightly more in the back. But yeah, let's see how it plays out. I'm gonna be curious. Yeah, we're gonna be pulling back a little bit though, so it should be fine. Okay, there's a lot of healing on us. Probably lean towards right corner. Yeah, that's slightly concerning. If we sometimes end up like this, I think in this case just probably right side corner is gonna be decent. Well, anyway, we have a lot of sustain here. Okay, pushing Su, sure, they try to commit to answer with this and diamond form. Okay, with a lot of pressure. Well, overall the fight goes okay. Yeah, the fight goes alright. Not sure. What are your thoughts? You think there's anything you could be doing better during that fight, or?
My whole, because it's like new to me. The whole thing is like trying to not take as much damage, which is kind of confusing. Because tank you're supposed to take damage, so finding like the right corners to get to. Like how you said, like that's what my idea was, to like get to the corners and play cover.
Yeah.
But I don't want to like sometimes I feel like I how you say, like aggressively look for the corner, which is like too much, or try to fight to one spot. I don't know, like maybe tunnel vision. So I don't know, like if that's something I could probably like work on, like, or identifying like spots.
Yeah. 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 Sorry. Continue.
Oh yeah, like just like identifying the spots. That's what I mean.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, with this, I would maybe think about more defensive setup. It's understandable that we need to keep the consistent pressure going, but because you play the brawl tank, just keeping the them stuck, the enemy stuck in a space where it's more important for your team. Yeah, like your team seems like they set up a little bit more lean back in here. So I think most of our time is going to be spent playing around the second corner. Maybe we can even try to use the high ground at some point. Why not, if you're still able to beam? But honestly, it just mostly depends on their setup, on your team setup. Here, with just generally speaking, the corners, how you use that, you need to think about what damage you're taking. Taking damage is good, but the damage should be relative to where your team is fighting. So in this case, if I take damage from this here, anybody who is behind this space here, it's not good, because my team is not able to fight that as much. But if I take damage from this angle, and I cut this angle, like maybe I fight this way, literally, and I have this cover, then I have the damage which is relevant. I take good damage, let's put it this way. I don't take every pieces of the damage. For example, if I lean towards here, yeah, for whatever reason, I play open, I stay here, then I'm also exposed to those people in the back, which my team cannot control. So this is how it usually works. We just trying to find the corners, and I see, actually, we're playing corners pretty okay, yeah, but still, the small things like that. Maybe in here, just first, I would start thinking about leaning towards left, and then if the fight goes not as good, then probably also use this corner later, but it's gonna be like this, probably, so we're only exposed to this space here, but yeah, at the start, definitely can be more aggressive. Oh, yeah.
You said like my team is playing more like relaxed back, so like as a tank, isn't it like more like their job to like set the pace or something? So like if my team is playing back,
Yes.
but should I tell them to push up, or should I just play with them? Like
you can tell them to push, but generally speaking, if it's comp, then you have to just look at the info you have and work with that, honestly. And I understand that sometimes it can be. Oh, sorry, continue.
No, I was asking, like, yeah, should I take initiative or more adapt to it? Like, because like not everyone's gonna, like what you said, like just go with the flow.
Little bit of both. Honestly, if I would be you, that's what I've been doing a lot too. If I play tank, I try to set the pace and tell them, guys, this is really good choke to play for. Can we set up? Yeah, let's play aggressive here. If I see this is happening, then I go for aggression. If not, then I go with what my team is doing, because I cannot just fight on my own. Yeah, this is really important to fight and tank the pressure in the space where it's relative to my team. So this is how I would think. Yeah, try to set the pace, but at the same time, make sure it's mostly your fight is based on where most of your team is fighting. So you have to really be mindful. And I understand sometimes it might be really frustrating as a tank too. It's just, I want to fight this space. Why you guys not there, right? But at the same time, if you fight alone and you take a lot of damage, which is not relevant to what your team, where your team is, then it will not be any useful too. So you have to keep them in mind too. But yeah, ideally I would just call this out. Okay, let's fight this choke, see them set up. If they set up, perfect. If not, let's try to pull back a little bit. That's the most ideal scenario. In your case, because you're GM, I think going for the comms is okay-ish, honestly. Just that the GM Celestial, it can be okay to start with, to be honest. But yeah, anyway, this fight goes relatively fine. Well, yeah, I think we talked quite a lot about your gameplay right now. Anyway, any questions maybe?
Not at the top of my head. No.
Okay. Well, if no questions, then let's try to do yours, Deco Flag, the last
Sure,
replay.
well,
Hopefully should be all good. All right. Yeah, I think there's. Yeah, we still have time. I still have time. Yeah, there's just gonna be another session really soon. But yeah, let's try to do another one. And for J-Fly, to summarize, fighting overall really decent gameplay, I think, but just trying to think about, especially in defense, how my team is set up and adjust accordingly. Also with the shield, don't forget about the shield, right? Just think accordingly to the tempo where the fight will be and try to place your ability, the shield there exactly, or maybe don't place it first, yeah, try to walk in and then place it. But anyway, if you have a big advantage, the general point is you will be taking more space, so don't take it as too slow. Yeah, like I mentioned, a lot of the times you push from one corner to another, but if you have big advantage, let's say 2 people up or 3 people up, then expect to be pushing 2 corners up as a tank. That's how I would put it, honestly. As any brawl tank, it always feels this way, kind of. You able to take one more corner, one more additional corner, if that makes sense. Okay. Deco Flag, we are, yeah, so this is the last replay. So let's take a look. Who is this? It's gonna be here. Here we go. Also, any notes? So while my stats aren't bad at all during this game, and we won this, it's my least favorite map in the game. The main things I'm looking for is where do I want to position with this map, because this map, out of all domination maps, is very objective dependent, and there's not too many angles to take, which is what Thor like to do. Okay, really like to see that you're taking angles, to be honest. I think a lot of people back in the day especially would not do that as much, but you see the player base is already getting familiar with all the characters more and more, so yeah, you're totally right, the angles are good. It's just all relative to the space where you can be fighting, so let's see what we can be doing in here. I think, in my experience, just with the Thor alone, that's been one of my first characters to play back in the days, and Marvel Rivals I one-tricked the Thor quite a lot as well, because it's quite similar to a lot of the characters I played before. Let's see our initial rotation starts with the hammer. Usually, it's my kind of small thing, usually able to sneak in up to 2 hammers, up to using 2 shifts right when you start rotating. Even though this is what's that called, domination, domination map, usually able to, you get your cooldowns back for the actual fight later. Because I understand we might be holding this for Awaken, but usually able to sneak in. I see you had the exact time to use your second shift already. By the way, Deco Flag, you here, right?
What's up? Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so that's one thing. Okay, good. Just going for the Awakened, and that's how I would phrase it. Awakened is gonna be used in 2 cases. It's either I'm looking for the poke damage before the fight, which is completely fine. Oh, sorry, what was that? Any question or? Okay, I guess there was some. Is it? Okay, there was a background noise maybe. Yeah, so Awaken can be used before the fight. Just the poke phase is really good, and then after that, we are mainly using the Awaken for the kills opportunity. Yeah, maybe you're not necessarily getting the kills, but at least there's a high chance to get the kill a lot of the time, so you need to watch for that. Anyway, the early Awaken, set up after. Okay, that's fine too. Okay, sure, creating isolation. You're going for this guy. Sure, another Awaken here. That's fine. If you have the opportunity to do so, why not? Now, probably need to be setting up. Yeah, we need to go somewhere. So with this, where can I be? This is a good question. Generally speaking, the right side lane is okay, or the left side lane is okay. Choose any lane which you're comfortable with, and then start your pressure. Usually it's going to be harder for you to start with the main and look to isolate the enemy, because that's what you're aiming for. Ultimately, you can try to also do it kind of similar to Angela, in a way. You can use your hammer to isolate the enemy, right? And I can do that by pushing them in, or I can trap them in the corner, which you try to do that with the rogue. But generally speaking, it's going to be harder to do if you are on the main lane, because it's more telegraphed, especially if you play versus more brawl characters like you do here. Really difficult. You need to be taking an angle somewhere, even though it seems more open, still try to do so. you can do the awakened right in the poke face like you did, but if possible, to do that on the angle can be even bigger. I think it's high preference. So if I would play here personally, taking the right side right away, do awaken like you did, but do that from this other lane. Let's go this way. This areas you're trying to take is going to be somewhat of a 90 angle as the Thor. You can take 90 to 180 angles a lot of the times because of just how the character works with mobility, yet how far you can go with the hammer, with your shift. So I think aiming to do that first, and then after that you can decide what to do. I can show you an example, by the way, what I mean. I have something back in the days. It's been a year ago though, but it's been one of my games before. Anyway, this is what I show some of my students before sometimes, or there's actually one of the players I have saved. It's Sure4 and Nevix. They also do that quite a lot. They take angles on Thor, and they do that quite well. Anyway, your process sort of looks like this. You take 90 angle somewhere or 180 angle. You don't necessarily have to do awaken. You see me using shift 2 times actually. And this is also the lobby when Celestial was not introduced. It was just GM was the highest rank, so I assume it's can be around Celestial. But anyway, we starting with setup first. Setup on the angle, somewhat of a 90 angle, typically lanes to the side. It's either left or right, away from the objective, and then I can look for the poke pressure with my awaken first, and then after that can search for the options what to do later. I think not the maybe really good pressure here. I mean, the shots are not as accurate, but the decisions to just do the awaken is okay-ish, because later we can look for the brawl phase and look for the kills opportunities, and it's just more of a aggressive type of awakened, but still try to use the cover while you do so. So maybe finding ways to maybe, for example, in our case, if I do this here, try to lean towards the cover there, in the back room or something like that. So I keep diverting the enemy attention while I'm sitting on the angles. It's really important that your tankiness, as any tank, is not necessarily your defensive, it's also the attention you divert. So if I divert those guys to push me like this, then it's easier for my team to take space, which actually is a really good thing, because you have really poke comp here, and they have slightly more brawlish comp. So separate the brawl. If you separate the brawl's attention, always works better too. But regardless of their comp, I think you still can take angles. But especially with the brawl they have, is really important. Okay, I know I talked a lot here, I mentioned a lot of stuff, but any questions? Any questions you got about this particular fight?
Yeah, I see what you mean. My main thing is like if I like take like that room on the angle, I get like that diverting attention. But what if like they kind of just like what do you call it? They just send like 2 people at me, like
Yes, yeah, understandable.
or like invis push or like multiple like CCs in this game.
Yeah. So what you do is you need to time your pressure really well. You have to look after your second tank. What are they doing? So I'm here, being patient. It's more forgiving to use Awaken at the start. You usually will not get pulled or anything. If I'm doing it early, obviously. If you have opportunity, let's put it this way. Yeah, maybe I can Awaken early sometimes. Let's say from here, or maybe even from the main is okay, but then set up later here, later on. That's also fine. But then when the real fight starts, you have to watch what your second tank is doing. Because if the brawl sends their resources in multiple directions, then your team can take advantage of that. Imagine I'm getting pushed inside the room, then my Namor can get picks, my Magneto can push, my Loki and Hala can also get picks, and you start to play slower, you start to stabilize, you start to just make sure you have the shields available too. Build your shields, try to use your abilities. That's what you do. So you shouldn't be kind of attacking by yourself, just to look at what most of your team is doing. Also, it seems that maybe it's me, maybe my replay, maybe my game is lagging, but okay, anyway, this fight is over.
Oh, just a Hawkeye moment.
Yeah, well, it's okay. But you see, the most important is our setup. By the way, this Awaken is also fine, right? Just do slight poke damage. I know we didn't hit anybody, but still, as a direction, it's okay. You have time to do so. Probably don't forget about those people here, because you can hit them. And then after that, you're looking for the angles, kind of more brawlish sort of awaken, maybe try to get kills, which is okay. Try to go after the Hawkeye there. Maybe looking to isolate them would be nicer. So see, first off, if we are not fighting, let's say, if there's no isolated target, how we can create isolation. First of all, it's through your hammer, so how you use your shift. So right away here, I think looking for the ways to do so would be nice. Also, I don't recall. I think the shield shouldn't block this animation, right? It's a physical, because it's been a while since I been actually.
Yeah, it shouldn't. It's also a projectile, obviously, but like,
Yeah.
I think, yeah, it stops the awaken and the hammer throw, but
Okay.
your
Okay.
physical attacks don't do, I think.
Yeah, so try to displace this guy, really. Then just go for the shift. What if I try to trap him inside this corner, even though there's a HP pack? Or maybe try to get behind him, slightly place him this way, and then after that, going for the awaken and going for the kill. Once he's isolated. Yeah, you can create your own isolations to the hammer, or you can also use corners and try to just take that 1v1 in a way. Like we talked about Demo Frost, yeah, not taking too much damage. So for example here, if I fight those people, if I lean towards this cover and I use Awaken, then this is better. I kind of fight isolate a target instead of being exposed to everybody and unnecessary damage. But yeah, anyway, we just need to make sure we get it first. Yeah, whatever... Just honestly, whatever order of your abilities is okay, but yeah, there's some nuance to it as well with the bubble and right click, but overall I usually would view it this way at least. Set up first, and then after that we'll look for the options to do Awaken. Yeah, this one is a little bit tough. Yeah, I think if you find yourself stuck in here, not too sure. Well, you may... Yeah, you may do the Awaken like this before the fight, but again, my main concern is if you're face-to-face with those guys, I think you'd rather take an angle. Maybe first Awaken, like doing it so here, because your team is still posturing more defensively, right? They're behind this space. It's okay, it's sort of poke phase Awaken. I have time to do whatever before the fight, but once the fight starts, I think you have to be somewhere on the angle and then start Awaken there, typically. You usually see that. I think any good examples I can show as well. For example, Nevix. Yeah, I think I used their gameplay back in the day. Still really good. They also, if people recall, they also play for the Virtus Pro, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So this is quite a good example what you can be doing most of the time, and you see them exactly really good at just doing the pressure before the fight. It's completely fine. Maybe somewhere here even could be possible, but you just have to be mindful about how far both the teams are. So I done this, maybe even though it's Awaken on the main, it's fine, but then eventually I want to look for an angle, and what kind of angle I could be taking. Maybe it's going to be the left side here, yeah, and then look for isolated target. Yeah, maybe I fight somebody isolated on the enemy team right away, maybe create isolation. Yeah, in this case it's a little bit difficult because D'Angelo is contesting us. They have to be mindful. I think they kind of could be playing that slightly better here, but anyway, that's what you see them do most of the time. Just be ready that the enemy will contest you, but so to speak, this is your general direction. You're trying to set up on those 90 angles, and then after that, when the fight happens, we are going for the pressure with our team. Yeah, so it's a lot of patience too, right? In here, they're not doing the poke phase Awaken. Why? Because the most important phase is the brawl phase, when both teams are on top of each other. So when the fight is happening here, that's really important how I use Awakened and when. So I divert my attention, enemy attention, and force out some of the cooldowns too. They're also kind of trying to contest the point here a little bit, and maybe getting pulled by Angela, but it's fine because now they tank all their attention, and their team, meanwhile, they can take advantage of that. They did that together with the team. So even though it seems they're not doing a whole lot in terms of just getting kills, but they still doing the essential job of the tank. Yeah, which is divert attention, try to tank, and see how far this guy's turned, by the way. When we done this, I'm on the angle, this Angelo tried to isolate me, this guy turns on me, trying to hook me, which they did, but it works because my team can follow up on what I do. So this is alright, yeah, even though it's a little bit annoying gameplay here. We got frozen, we got hooked, we got everything succeed, but that's that's how it works sometimes with the tank, really. You have to really be mindful of that stuff. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Do you have any questions, maybe? Or I know it's been pretty brief, but yeah, does everything make sense? Or
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
okay, okay. Yeah, well, if you guys will have any questions later, anyone, let me know. If you want to send, yeah, send anything on my, or maybe Discord DM, or maybe tag me in Academy. You can do that whenever. I think we're gonna end the sessions today then, the community watts, but we're gonna do another community watts at the end of the month, probably. Yeah, we should have time. And yeah, do you guys have any final questions? Anyone? You guys, is everything been clear? Or yeah, maybe anything, any general questions? If not, then I think let's end the session.